This is the Fifth Estate winning headlines, your media police post. In this segment, we summarize the headlines that you might have missed this morning. But we also take a look at the political pieces that we call cartoons in this country. I am 2J.
I am 2M.
And I am Miss K, your moderator. Again, just in case you missed it, these are the winning headlines. And we have a three-part criteria that we use to break down your headlines. Are they topical or speculative? Are they repetitive or groundbreaking? And finally, are they thoughtful or intellectually lazy? Let's take a look at today's headlines.
All right.
The Standard. Haji Kinoti probe bribery of CSs in foreign capitals. The Star. Stalled projects need 365 billion shillings to finish. And finally, the Daily Nation. Teachers fury over book supply racket. What do you guys think? Which is our winning headline and which is our losing headline?
Ooh. All right, so maybe we can start with
The Nation.
the Daily Nation. Yeah. Teachers fury over book supply racket. So maybe we should summarize the story for our audiences at home, right?
Okay, in case you missed it, teachers are angry with the government for over procuring books for their students. That's not a problem. Did they forget they're going to get more students next year, the year after that? They can use the books. It's not like they go bad. There's no expiry date on books.
They are not perishable goods.
That's true.
But the problem with it is because of the over procurement, that there has been a suspension for procurement for the next 4 years. So I think this was a bit of an issue because now it's going to impact what happens in the next 4 years. It was an unintended consequence, right?
But is this a groundbreaking?
Absolutely. It does not fall under the three criterion.
No.
So
not
topical,
groundbreaking,
it's not
topical.
No.
In fact,
It's actually quite confusing.
So
how
confusing.
the rest of the country is talking about something else, and the Daily Nation says
chooses to go the other way.
Teachers fury over book supply.
Yeah, what's so important about getting angry?
You know what's even funnier? The image on the front cover, it's a stock image of a woman, Juan, who does not look Kenyan, but it has no relation to the headline itself.
So
I think they've lost the plot.
Can we agree that this is a lazy headline?
Yes.
Very
Can we
lazy.
agree that it's our losing headline?
Absolutely.
Can we put
We
take
should-
this paper away?
Can we toss it?
To the bin.
We toss it.
To the bin.
All right.
Fantastic.
Moving on.
Haji Kinoti probes CSs in foreign capitals.
Absolutely.
Versus
Versus stalled projects need 365 billion shillings to finish. Quick question. Are they related or will we be pushing that?
I think they're related. I do.
But can you honestly say that 365 billion shillings is paid out in kickbacks?
I don't think so. I think relating them is going on a fishing expedition. I don't think CSs have 365 billion shillings.
I think the argument was
Yeah.
until we fix this, until we fix the issue of bribery with CSs, we cannot complete these projects that have been stalled. So they're related in such that they're distant relatives.
Okay, then we can call this then a topical issue.
Okay.
Because the government has an agenda to complete. The government has a
Absolutely.
fixed timeline in which to complete it.
All right.
Therefore, we need to know if they're not going to finish some of the projects that they have promised. the
Absolutely.
populace. So it's topical.
Let me put it this way. Public expenditure budget reduces from 3 billion to 2.7 to 2.4 billion shillings. That tells you something. Government does not have money to complete projects now.
And we
So
have said that in the past.
Yes, so they do need money, and I mean trillion, not billion. They need money to complete projects. 365 billion shillings, not much for 3 trillion, Bob.
So then this is okay. It's topical.
It's topical, yes.
And it's relevant.
It's repetitive, and I think it's thoughtful, all right? But at the same time, I do think someone is playing some game with us. I don't think this is the reason that they are using to continue or to start new projects.
In short,
I don't think they
this
have
is a
money.
speculative story.
Yes,
Absolutely.
it is.
Absolutely.
Then what do we think about this?
Fantastic. I like the headline, Haji Kinoti probe. I think it's topical. I think it's repetitive.
Tropical.
Topical. Not tropical.
English came on a boat.
It
Please
did.
be kind.
You know I'm from Muranga. I think it's repetitive and I think it is topical, but I don't think it's thoughtful. For this reason, if
We can argue.
we can argue, and
On
I,
whether
I,
or
I,
not.
I,
Of course,
and
yeah,
I,
it's your opinion.
I would want to hear what you guys think, but let me put mine forward. I don't think government should be exposing itself in the media to the people in such a manner, especially with people very close to the president as cabinet secretaries. If you're going to say that certain amount of money is hidden in foreign countries, you are exposing the
Kevin,
executive.
I would want to correct you on the basis of this story. It's not that foreign money is hidden in foreign countries. It's rather that people who are looking for tenders to complete these stalled projects are giving kickbacks to the CSs who would authorize the projects to go ahead.
What, 365 billion?
Not worth 365 billions, but kickbacks nonetheless that are costing
They're getting an
taxpayers.
incentive to give money to the CSs.
And
But
this-
can we agree to this point that it is a groundbreaking story? Why?
Yes.
Because it's the fourth estate doing what it's meant to do, exposing the government's underbelly.
And I don't dispute, I actually like that. But to the point where the DPP, the DCI, and other heads of government are coming out to say that money is in the possession of CSAs and they're taking bribes in foreign capitals is exposing the executive. And let me tell you what, in a couple of years, should anything go wrong and you have mass protests and that kind of thing, it will get back to the executive.
And I agree with you. However, here at the fifth estate, we are breaking down
The issues, yes.
And we're looking at what the media has done and has said. Therefore, can we agree that this particular headline,
Winning headline.
though harmful to the government, is the fourth estate doing what it's meant to do, exposing.
It's a winning
So
headline.
It's a winning headline. Can we agree?
Yes.
Absolutely. But then when you say probe, and then they probe...
All right, Kevin, I think we've agreed.
What happens after a probe? And then when you probe... what happens thereafter?
They reported
There's-
the story.
I think that's a different
different
discussion,
segment.
Does
right?
Wanjiko
That's
have
a
more food?
different
Does Wanjiko have
segment.
more food in their plate? I don't know, but
Maybe after keeping the 365 billion shillings.
probably.
But
Who
can we
knows?
then agree that this is our winning headline? This is number one, and
Yeah.
the standard.
Can I toss this one? I enjoy that part.
You enjoy the part.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
toss
it,
topical.
toss it.
It's
It sits
topical,
on the
but it's not
fence.
our winning headline, and therefore
Okay, we toss it.
we
Toss it. I agree. Everybody high five. Yeah, high five.
All right. So what comes next?
I think now we move on to the next segment.
Which requires me to pick them up.
Yeah, unfortunately, we need them back.
All right,
Bring them
that's
back. Bring them
that's
back.
okay.
It's called a recycle bin.
So onto the political opinions that we call cartoons. Guys, which were your favorite cartoons? And who, like me, goes to the cartoon first?
No, I look at the headlines
Ladies
first. So maybe we should review the headlines. Sorry, the cartoons first.
Okay.
Let's see what we are working with today.
Okay, I think we start with the Daily Nation. Now that we tossed out their paper first, let's see if their cartoon was any better. And it has
Who is
a
this?
bus, Western Hotel Land Saga,
Where's that hotel?
and somewhere on a road that goes to a place.
Right. Yeah.
And behind that bus is a rope with somebody holding on for dear life.
As they navigate trash, mud, literally being dragged through the mud.
Yeah. So I think,
Yeah.
personally, that this might look like WSR. RDP.
Yeah, I think, and I agree with you. The cartoon has been drawn to show things that WSL likes to wear.
Yeah.
A Kenya hat.
Yeah.
And
So
the
what do
facial
you
features.
guys think about this?
I don't know about the guy. I don't know who he looks like, but he sure looks patriotic. He's wearing a Kenyan hat.
Okay, to be honest, I did laugh when I first saw this picture. I did. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it is funny, but I feel like it hits below the belt. It kind of literally dragging WSR through the mud, like he wants to be dragged through the mud, and I feel like it's more pessimistic than it is anything else.
But I keep wondering, why is he going through oil filters, banana peels, and apples?
It's
mud.
the story that's been running, and no offense, but I think the Star did a better rendition of this particular
The Star
story.
today?
Absolutely.
No, the Star yesterday.
Ah, okay.
They did a picture of a guy who looks like a fat cat with a spray from the National Land Commission, just like spraying it out.
And what's written on his
Western.
abdomen?
Western, okay.
But
And
my
it has
favorite.
a little caption. Sometimes the harder you wipe, the more it smudges.
But if you look closer, his belly's got fingerprints.
Yeah.
All right? Just look at it.
That's so true.
The subliminal messaging behind that.
Okay,
is
so
stop.
this picture is layered. Okay.
It's layered.
And that's why
Yeah.
I like it more, because it shows
Whose
a thoughtful
fingerprints are those?
and clever.
You're asking the wrong guy.
satirical. This is more satirical than this is, I think.
Okay, so that's where you were going.
and
with
it's
it.
more humorous.
Okay,
It's more humorous.
So
I
you're
agree.
so you're asking us which
Okay,
cartoon. do
let
we
me let me
think-
bring everybody else back. So we do have a criteria for looking at cartoons, and our
Right.
criteria has 3 parts, just like the one for headlines.
Mm.
But now we look: is the cartoon humorous or is it dry? Is the cartoon satirical or is it pessimistic? And finally, is the cartoon effective? Does it pass the message, or is it just plain lazy? And I think that this cartoon passes the message.
Yes.
This other one hits below the belt, because
All
this
right.
shows you that there's something there. It has layers, like you
Absolutely.
said.
I'm convinced. I am. Yeah.
This is way thoughtful than this. I think this should go to the bin.
All right. So the whole Daily Nation has just been tossed out.
Yeah.
It appears
All
they'll
right.
have a better day.
All right.
Tomorrow is a better day. I
Yeah.
hope the editors are working hard.
All right.
Absolutely.
So since we were impressed with the star yesterday, maybe we can see if we're impressed with the star
Today.
today.
Okay, sure.
All right. So the picture we're going to look at today, it's Valentine's related. Happy Valentine's Day, Nairobi.
Yes, happy Valentine's.
So here we have some nurses with arrows along their spine and somebody who appears to look like a caricature of our president in a car that is on top of stones. With on the back of the car is written universal health coverage. Okay, nobody laughed. So what
no,
what are we feeling?
Those-
Okay, see, I think there's a couple of things that this picture is telling us. You know, I think you've argued for the big one, for universal healthcare
Absolutely.
as the big one.
Absolutely.
And here's your big one
Yes.
on stones, like a car in Grogon.
Absolutely. And you know why? Because yesterday, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, gave nurses an ultimatum to return to work by Friday, or
be
else they
fired.
get fired.
Yep.
Now, he has this agenda of doing universal healthcare. And,
Yes.
and the gist of this cartoon is, if you're doing universal healthcare, you need to what they say to katia in Kiswahili, you know, you need to
Vibe
nurses, right? But here's a guy, he's throwing darts and
However,
nurses.
I'd like to dispute a little bit of your interpretation because it is a Valentine's Day based cartoon.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be Cupid.
It's Cupid, absolutely.
Cupid
yeah,
looking-
you're actually-
looking
you're
for love.
actually
He's
right.
looking for love.
'Cause you see,
And
if
so-
you see here, he has wings like
He has
Cupid
wings like
has
Cupid.
wings, and
Yeah.
he has the archers.
But-
And so he's sending his arrow saying,
Love me
nurses,
back.
nurses, look at
Love
me,
me,
love
love
me.
me.
But,
back.
but you know what? Are you seeing this car written Universal Healthcare, branded Universal Healthcare? Has
He
no
wants
tires.
he wants them
Okay,
to
It,
here's
get
the
it has
thing.
no tires. This one, where is it
Definitely.
going?
It's going
It's already
nowhere.
mounted on stones.
the car
Where
is
is he
nice.
going? And then
car
he has
is
another
nice.
one, and he's shooting at
So I
a
think
nurse.
it's almost
And the nurse
as
is
though
walking.
upon further analysis, this is starting to look a little bit more interesting than we first thought.
And you know
So
what?
then what can we call it? Is it effective?
I think it's effective
The most
messaging.
definitely effective.
And it's saying it's paradox, right? It's value
Yeah.
paradox. You want to achieve universal healthcare, you better get your stuff, you know, in the same vibe as you. You know, get them to understand you, and you know, pay them a little bit more.
Okay,
After
so,
all,
so,
you're not
what,
going
so
anywhere.
what is the star contending against today?
The Star is contending against the Standard because we threw out the Nation. Too bad for the Nation. And the Standard today has 2 cartoons.
Yes.
So it has one where it's showing that our MPs, our governors, our senators, our deputy governors, and our MCAs are demanding for more power. So it has who would appear to be Wanjiko listening to a radio broadcast, a TV broadcast, reading the paper, and listening to an audio from their phone. For the MPs, everyone asking for more power. So it's a power-crazy country, and she is, for lack of a better word, exasperated. But it has a funnier one, and I think this is right up your alley.
Oh, yes.
To M,
Yes.
it shows a gentleman
Yes.
with his signature red tie, white shirt, and black pants
Yes.
going into a room
Return.
called the Big Four Agenda.
Ooh.
Cleaning house, do not disturb. So I think it goes with
Oh,
very
gosh.
well with their headline
Absolutely.
for today. So I would say that this is excellent.
But what's on the floor?
But he
Oh,
opens
it's a
the
bunch
door
of
and
rats.
there's a bunch of rats.
Absolutely.
All right. Interesting. Okay, so should we start with the first one?
Yeah, I think we can start with the first one.
Okay.
Power crazy country. MPs say they will amend the constitution to give them more powers. Governors want more powers, serve a third term.
Okay.
Senators,
I'll give my opinion.
Yes.
I think this is lazy.
I agree.
And the only reason I say lazy is because in Kenya we've developed such an interesting culture of this political satire cartoon
Yes,
thing that to do this it doesn't hit the mark.
I agree.
When you have people, you know, like this, who are really pushing
Yes.
the boundaries of what you can say through a cartoon,
That's
Yes.
true.
just boring old dialogue just doesn't,
Yeah,
it
It's
doesn't
true.
cut it.
This is not only lazy, it's also dry.
it's
Yeah,
it's
oh,
dry,
very dry,
Very
that's
dry.
true.
and it falls below what
The
Prof
standard
would
that
like.
we have gotten used to.
Yeah, it falls below what Prof likes to call the threshold of constitutional nonsense. You know, and let me say this: who says that governors should not want a third term? They are political animals at the end of the day.
It's their incentive, yeah.
Anthony Dejise says in his book, The State, that the objective of the state is to achieve maximum political power.
That's true.
If you're not a political animal, what do you
What are
want
you
to
doing?
achieve?
Yeah.
So we say lazy, dry, boring,
Ineffective.
ineffective.
All
Throw
right,
it away.
let me move on.
Yeah,
What do we say about this one?
I like this. Right, Uhuru has so much to achieve, but in his room of Big Four, he has so many rats.
But is it too literal? I mean, you look at the picture and without having to look into the fine details, you already understand what the cartoonist is trying to say.
Do you agree with this?
Then what do
It's
we
not
say?
about...
So are we saying that yes, it is humorous,
I like the rats.
and yes, it is effective, but it's not as satirical
It's not groundbreaking.
as that
Yeah.
one is.
Yes.
I
So
think
between
there's
the
some
two, which do you
nuances
pick?
here that you have. Like when you said that it's a car on stones that is not moving anywhere.
Yeah.
That's not something I had thought about.
Absolutely. Where is it going?
Where is it going?
So I think we can agree that our winning cartoon
Of the day
is
yes.
from the
The
Star.
Star. Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
And I think that the Star cartoonist is someone to watch. That's like 2 in a row.
Yeah.
He
Absolutely.
knocked out
Yeah,
the
that's
other
true.
What's his name? Can you?
Yeah.
Country.
You shall
Alright.
see. And this is our second one. We like it, but not so much.
All right.
Okay, guys. Thank you once again. This was Winning Headlines, where we break down the headlines for you and analyze political opinion pieces that we call cartoons. See you next time.